Hi, good morning. I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 229 and I know I've gone early this morning. A couple things that are different today. I've gone early and I'll tell you why in a second. I'm also at a brand new beach that I've never been to. I've lived here 10 years and I've never been to this beach. A lady told me about it the other day. I guess it's tucked in right around the corner from a beach I have been to. So anyway, we're at Seagate Beach in Naples this morning. And I've seen no less than 8 dolphins already, so I thought that's a good reason to go early, just in case we're at some magical moment here where there's tons of dolphins. I saw 2 groups of 3 go by, and then I saw a group of 2 go by. So let's keep our fingers crossed that we see more dolphins this morning, but I thought that was an exciting enough reason to go early. So good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me live. I saw Judy, Elisa, Jane, Christy, Lily, good morning. It's actually really beautiful down here too. Hi Christy, hi Jamie, Beatrice, Jan. I know I've gone super early this morning, so hopefully notifications worked or you're already here chatting with others. Hi Carrie. I want to show you the beach real quick too. We're in a very posh part of Naples right now. You'll notice it's just $1-million condos all the way across here. Multi-million-dollar, I suppose. So here's the beach to the south of us, going through Naples, and then here is where the sun will rise. Not sure we'll see it this morning, since it's probably got to go over that condo instead of just over the trees this morning. And then here's the beach to the north of us, and that's where Clam Pass State Park is, which would be another wonderful beach to take you to soon. And I'm getting a new tripod very soon, and when I have that one we'll be able to do a little more walking. And what's really cool about Clam Pass is that there's a 1-mile boardwalk that you take to get to the beach, and when you go on that boardwalk, I'll be able to show you the whole thing is made from recycled milk jugs. It's pretty spectacular. So we'll get to walk through the mangroves and take this really long boardwalk, but I'll need a tripod that doesn't shake. And so I've already ordered one and it's on the way. So once I have that, we'll do that for an excursion one day. And so we're just to the south of that. And the sky has just been lit up with these beautiful pastel peach and gold clouds this morning. A little bit of pink too. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. I know it's hard to get that lighting and see me. I'm sure I'm a little dark this morning because it's so bright. But so beautiful today. And like I said, I went early because I've seen no less than 8 dolphins here this morning. Oh, there's one right here. There's one right here. Wonder if you all saw it already while I was talking. Not too far, I want to say maybe 30, 40 feet from the shoreline. Let's see if he pops up again. There he is. Hopefully, oh shit, I moved the camera. Oh, sorry for swearing. I think I bumped the camera just as he was reaching. Sorry about that. And sorry for swearing. Whoopsie. This is serious business, looking for dolphins to share with you all. Oh, especially after I saw so many before the camera came on this morning. Anyway. So if you're joining me live, tell me what you're crafting on this morning. And if you end up watching the recorded version, please also feel welcome to say hello. I love to reply to those throughout the day too. Hi, Aranita. It's okay, everyone. Oh, thanks, Lily. There's a 2-person kayak coming too. Or no, maybe that's a canoe. I think that might be a canoe. I love how beautifully they're lit up because they're beyond the buildings and the sun is coming up on them. So pretty. I was also thinking that this jetty of rocks over here might be a pretty place to take photos one day. Let me move Dolly out of the way. I mean, there's fishermen there right now, so I might be a little embarrassed going over there. But I think it'd be a fun place to drape some yarn one day. Oh, which reminds me, that's what I brought this morning. I brought my finished Zen scarves because I was hoping to go and drape them over those rocks, but not likely now with fishermen there. I think I'd feel a little goofy. We'll see. We'll see if they're still there when I'm done. And besides, I need to wait for the sun to come up a little more anyway. Hi, Karen. Yeah, the water is beautiful this morning. Rosa Dean, hi from Singapore. That's great. So glad you could join me. Okay, so here's the knit scarf done. I'll show them to you folded first. Here's the knit one. And here's the crocheted one. Side by side. The knit one, for the knit one I used colors from this side. I'm going to say Crushed Berries, Tropical Hot Coral, Calypso Lime, Aloha Blue, and Passionate Plum. And for the crochet one I used Lilac Memories, Stormy Sea, Pink Damask, Harbor Fog, and Jaded Peacock. And I made them super duper long, and for one extremely important reason. This fall I wanted to be able to wear that type of a scarf that you see people wear, where it wraps and wraps and wraps and just it brings so much volume to an outfit. If you just wore a plain shirt, or even a plain shirt and a blazer or a jacket, this would look so pretty underneath. And the reason I made them so long is because I wanted to have enough length to really play with this volume. I wanted this to be like a really voluminous cowl and still have length here. So now it'll come down below my top that I'm wearing, which I think is a great layering visual. Imagine with even a blazer over the top of this, or a jean jacket, it'll still show so much. And then with this length also, you could tie it a second time, like that, and truly make it a double volume cowl. And you could even twist that around to the side like that. That would be so pretty. I didn't bring a shawl pin with me. I meant to, but I forgot. So imagine if you wrapped this second piece up around like that. So now we've got your cowl and then your second one. And imagine putting a shawl pin right there, how beautiful that would be. And then you've got that double volume that I think is so incredibly pretty. I do believe that the stripes really accentuate all of this too. When it's in a solid color, you don't get to see the directions that you use as much. So I think you get to see a lot more detail because you can understand the flow and the direction of your draping because of those stripes. And I'll show you in the knit one. Oh, Jane's working on a dream catcher and Be So Serene. Cool. Now you could also go tight too. That's cute too, to make the scarf tight. That's a very bohemian look. Let's see if I stand up, you'll notice the tighter you do it around your neck, the longer the scarf goes. But oh my God, so cute, right? Wear that over a button-down blouse, or even a t-shirt, a jacket, a jean jacket, anything, right? And even over another sweater. Like someone mentioned that the other colors went well with the top I'm wearing. Yes, wear it as a second accessory over a sweater if the colors coordinate. With the rainbow, there really is no color that this wouldn't go with. You could do anything from neutrals, from black to gray to brown to white and cream, or pick up on any of the colors in here. There is no wrong way to wear a rainbow. It's the most natural thing in the world, right? And it would go with just about anything from neutrals to colors. Okay, so then making this voluminous like the last one, you'll see it raises up the length a little bit, but still keeps it really nice and long and interesting. Good morning, Samantha. And then we can do the same sort of treatment that we did to the other one. You could tie it. Morning. You could tie it like that, move it around to the side, and then this would be another great candidate for a shawl pin, which is why in the yarn kit I included the shawl pin, because I wanted you all to have so many different ways to style this. So you wear it up, even so many different ways, but you could tuck all of this around here and then put your shawl pin right there. Super cute, like a gigantic necklace. It definitely is that type of accessory. Now, I have had people ask me, what about doing it all in one color? Yes, one color would be great too, because of that lace insert in the center. Each one has a different stitch pattern in the center, so this would be gorgeous in a one color yarn or a variegated yarn. You could also do this in two colors. Imagine if you just striped every other. What if you did it in black and white? where it's crushed berries would be black, tropical hot coral white, where it's green, black, where it's blue, white, and where it's purple, black. It could go black, white, black, right, black, or it could go white, black, white, black, white. Can you imagine how visually stunning the graphic would be of watching those stripes move if it was all in black and white, or two other high contrast colors? Or pick just two colors that you happen to love and are colors that you wear all the time. I mean, there's no wrong way to do it. Or you could do these two stripes in one color, the center lace panel in a second color, and then these two stripes in one color. So it'd be, just for sake of keeping it easy, let's say black, white, black. So purple and blue would be black, the green lace insert would be white, and then these two colors would be black. Or any two colors you like. So I think it's a great way to use 5 colors, and we've all had so much fun mixing and matching 5, but you could do this in 1, 2, 3 colors, or any combination. Does anybody have any questions about that? I'll wait and see if there's any questions. Hi, Martha. Got quite a few swimmers here this morning. Anne wants to try knitting again. Great. Hi, Grace. Hi, Annie. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, lots of different ways. I mean, the patterns are so simple, right? So just like when we talk about learning a new technique, I talk about this all the time, where you want to only add one element at a time. So that's one of the reasons why I kept the stitch patterns so incredibly simple on both of these projects. So you're not having to spend so much time learning the stitch patterns. You can focus on other things that you want to do or learn. So learning how to combine colors could be something you could focus more on instead of having to focus on the stitches. Or if you're new to working with fine yarns, the stitches won't be things that you have to concentrate so much on. Garter stitch and a simple lace in the knit one are fairly easy to learn, for beginners, and so are the 2 stitch patterns that I chose for this one. They're fairly easy for beginners to learn. So even if you practice these on some scrap yarn to start with, just to make sure you understood how to do it, I'll have videos for both of the shawls, scarves next week also. Hi, Naomi. It is really warm out here this morning, which surprised me. When I got out of the house this morning, I was surprised. Must be super humid. That'll do it. Christy, I hope you do make it. Yeah, sky's the limit with colors on these. Absolutely, Naomi. Yep, you really can't go wrong picking colors in that. I'm so glad you love your kit, Karen. And you've been up since 3. Why? Karen's doing something even more special with her kit. She's going to put a stripe of my sequin yarn, Be So Dazzling, between each color section. And I cannot wait to see it done. If I was redoing this, this is exactly how I would make one. I was halfway through with both of them when I thought, dang, why didn't you put a sequin stripe in between your stripes? Good morning, Melissa. There's another dolphin. He's a little further out, but you see him? You see him breaching? Maybe there's 2, because that was really quick. Oh, there's one coming closer too. There's one further out, but there's one closer too. Gosh, I hope I've angled the camera correctly. There's another one. There's another one. There's one straight ahead behind me now too. Are you guys seeing them? Yeah, I'm so glad the dolphins are okay too. There's 2 straight ahead of me now. This is crazy. When's the last time we saw this many dolphins? There's one right around here when the camera was off. Oh well, I guess we'll just keep, there he is. Can you see, was that on camera? I think it was, right? That was on camera? Oh, there's one right here too. Oh my God, is this crazy or what? I mean, I went nuts before I turned the camera on. I was afraid you guys were gonna miss it. This is amazing. Now I don't look like a liar. Do you ever feel that way though, when you get so excited about something and you're like, guys, look, look. And then they don't see it, they go, mm-hmm. Another one. Yeah, it is cool, Melissa. What a treat. What a treat to see so many magnificent creatures in one day. Maybe yeah, maybe they're from further north and they're coming to find a safe spot. Who knows? Who knows? Another one. Another one. I mean, they're all going south. Saw a video of a guy, oh, I missed it. Well, there's more coming, so they'll come by here again in a second, I suppose. How exciting. Well, while we're waiting on more dolphin sightings, does anybody have any questions for me about what we've seen so far? Oh, Beatrice, maybe you'll get to watch later then, because we've seen lots of dolphins, so hopefully you'll get to watch later. Yeah, maybe it is a dolphin nursery. I mean, that's a lot of dolphin all going in the same direction. It's pretty wild. Oh, way off in the distance, I just saw 3 breach at the same time. How gorgeous. Unbelievable. Does anybody have any scarf questions though? Just while we're waiting on more activity. Oh, Sherry, yeah, that's a good reminder. Thank you. So when we've talked a lot about sizing and the things you need to think about before you start making garments, right? And we've talked about gauge, we've talked about yarn substitution. Yeah, Elisa, I think black and white would be gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And then you do pops of color like with your lipstick or your other accessories on your outfit. It'd be so pretty. I held up 2 scarves and they're both called Zen Stripe scarves. One is knit and one is crocheted. And they're both available as digital downloads in my Ravelry shop, or if you buy the yarn kit and choose all 5 colors, you choose 5 colors of yarn. In that yarn kit you'll get all 5 balls of yarn, you'll get both patterns included, you'll get a shawl pin included, and you'll get a pot of Wrapture included. Yes, black and white with a pop of color in the center would be gorgeous. Just that bold graphic of black and white stripes with a pop of color in the center, and then when you wrap it around, it's going to be just so bold, and you'll get to see that direction of the fabric so well. It'll be gorgeous. Not that I don't love mine too. I think you could use a couple of these in your wardrobe, to be honest with you. And a scarf that drapes like that, I think you could wear a different color every day of the week and be set for colder weather. For fall and for spring or for inside. Thanks, Judy. Yeah, I had so much fun planning the packaging for this one. When you order the shawl kit, it comes in this adorable little box. Jane missed out on the shawl pins. The shawl pins are for sale on my website. You didn't miss out on anything. So the box comes, it's a cute little box that it's white and it opens up, and then I have tissue paper inside, and I have everything really set out more like a gift than a product, and that was my goal. So thank you for saying that it felt like a gift. I'm so glad you felt that way. Awesome. So back to the last conversation. Try to stay focused. I know it's so hard because I get so excited to talk about everything. Karen, I'm so glad you liked it too. Thank you. It's something that I would really like to, as I continue to do more kits, it's something that I think will be really fun, is to think about different ways to make them look presented like gifts. So fun. Okay, so back to the garment question. And when you're not sure what size garment to make because the pattern calls for ease, or doesn't call for ease, or doesn't mention ease at all, or you're not sure what silhouettes you would like, go to your closet and pull out garments that are store-bought that have nothing to do with knit and crochet, lay them out flat, and pay attention to the overhead view of it, which will look very similar to the schematic you see in a written pattern, right? So if you look at it, yeah, ease, I think ease is more about styling than it is about garments, Karen, so that's where it gets confusing. I think you can wear anything as tight or as loose as you want. How the project looks in an overhead view compared to what the schematic looks like is where you're going to see the most commonality between what you like to wear and what you would like to make. So once you have that overhead view of your garment, you could even draw a sketch of it next to it and then take a tape measure and measure the different measurements of your top. It could be a sweater, a pullover, a t-shirt, whatever you have in your closet that looks good on you and feels good on you. You want to understand the shape of it with that overhead view, and you want to take measurements of all the different spots that are measured on the schematic of a pattern you're looking to make. If those line up, you are so close. And then you want to see however those measurements, whatever size they line up to on the written pattern, that's the size you need to make. So it doesn't matter what the designers called for, how much ease they've mentioned, none of that matters. It matters how you like to style something. Me, I like to wear things tighter. Other people like to wear things looser. So the ease that's suggested in a pattern doesn't matter if you like to wear things differently. Designer can't call something out for every size and shape and every style aesthetic, right? So there are suggestions in patterns, and always remember, patterns have suggestions. What you end up doing will be based on what you know and love. And until you're an expert at all of this, it's really hard to make those decisions on your own. So one of the ways that I think is really helpful is to study the clothes in your wardrobe that you already know and love. They feel good on you, they look good on you, and you're comfortable in them. Once you understand what shapes you like to wear and what size those shapes are, it will help you tremendously in picking not only the silhouettes of patterns that you should go for, but also what size to make within those patterns. You know, I think a lot of times we go by our bra size when we're making projects, right? So I wear a 36, so I make the 36. But I'm a 36 double D making a 36. That only works because I like to wear things tight, because a 36 double D bra is not 36 inches, right? Yeah, I think you add a half inch or an inch for every cup size. I can't remember. But I know that if I measured across here and measured any of my tops, there's no way that what fits around here slack is 36 inches. So what that means is I like negative ease. If you're going to talk in the fancy talk of it, I like negative ease. But that's me. That's not everybody. Debbie went to Ravelry and got her pattern. Awesome. Thanks, Debbie. I'll have videos up this week. Hi, Christy. Does anybody have any questions so far about that? About how to lay something out, or how to take those measurements, or what measurements to take? I think the easiest way to do it is take the measurements of the schematic of the pattern you're trying to make, because every pattern is going to be different as well. But also recognizing, is this the same style? Like, does it have waist shaping? Does it not have waist shaping? I would follow the measurements of the pattern you're thinking to make. Specifically bust measurements, or hip measurements, or arm measurements, or neck hole measurements. Those would be your basics. And then if the pattern has special shaping that requires special measurements, you would want to measure those measurements too. But instead of just doing it in general, I think it would be helpful to do it side by side with whatever pattern you're thinking to make. Because that way you could do this every time you're going to make a pattern, because you may be basing it on a different top. Let's say the pattern you're looking to make, let's use this one for example. we'll keep it nice and simple. Let's say you want to make this one. You're going to want to compare it to other tops in your wardrobe that are a little longer than waist length, right? You're not going to want to compare this with a cardigan that wraps and ties. You're going to want to compare it with a basic tank top that doesn't have a lot of ease. You want to make sure that your armholes are similar. You want to make sure that the neckline is similar, and you want to make sure that the length is similar, because when patterns are sized, all of those areas are shaped. The length is longer or shorter depending on size. The armholes are larger or smaller depending on size, and the neck opening is larger or smaller depending on size. Sometimes, not always. So you want to make sure that those measurements are, you want to take those measurements on the top that you know and love and fit you well. Write all that down, maybe with a rudimentary drawing of the overhead view of that top, and then compare that to the schematic in the pattern you're looking to make, and make sure that the armhole opening that you like is similar, or match it up to whatever size matches your bust, your armhole opening, and your length. If you do that, it will be much easier to figure out what size to make. And if things don't measure up, that's where you could modify a pattern if you felt so comfortable. So like you could make this section an inch longer if you needed it. You could make the whole length an inch or two longer if you need it. You could shorten the length an inch if you needed it. These are areas that it'll make it easier to understand where to modify. I'm glad that's great, Rab. So you've taken a Craftsy class that shows you how to do this. Cool, wonderful. Thank you, Marisol. This is a pattern on my website. It is called the Tempesta Pullover, and it comes with both this sleeveless version instructions as well as how to add sleeves. It has this beautiful neckline to it, and you can make it in sport weight yarn, and the pattern tells you which of my yarns I've used. This is Be So Serene, and the 3/4 length sleeve version I did in Be So Sporty yarn. But you can find the pattern on my website. Believe there are videos for it as well. Does anybody have any more questions on that? On the comparing project or things in your closet? You're welcome, Marisol. When I write a blog post about today's episode, I will post all the links to the things we talked about there as well. The sun's coming. Not quite here yet. Thank you, Melissa. Thanks, Rav. Not sure what Sherry's saying, oh great too, but glad you're happy. Something I said was good. Wow, what an exciting morning. Well, I guess we need to come back to this beach whenever time permits. It takes me an extra 15 minutes to get. Oh good, I'm glad you love the information, Sherry. I hope it's helpful for you. Terry enjoyed the information too. Wonderful. Stay with Rav. I'm so glad. I think it's really valuable information for understanding pattern design. I've been designing patterns long before knit and crochet were, to be honest with you. I don't know if any of you know this, but I was designing clothes for sewing as far back as being 18 years old. Thank you, Lily. So I have a really strong, a very strong understanding of schematics and how things look from a schematic. Yeah, it's a semi-solid colorway. I can't remember the color. It's the blue color. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I'll share it in the blog post. The pullover is beautiful. I love to wear this one. This one's in Be So Serene yarn, and it's 100% organic cotton sport weight yarn. It's so soft and so comfortable. I could wear it every day. And I do wear an awful lot. I think I wear it at least once a week. It has a garter stitch hem at the bottom, and it's worked in the round in stockinette. And then once you get to the bust, I go back to garter stitch, and then it has this beautiful neck hole opening. Yes, it is easy to make. These are like glorified buttonholes. It looks fancy, but it's not hard to make at all. Not at all. Okay, so back to my story. When I was 18 years old, I was a waitress at an Italian restaurant in Orlando, and I decided to take an adult education course on learning how to use a sewing machine. And so I bought a used sewing machine at a garage sale, took it to this adult education class. I think I went once or twice, got the basic understandings of the machine, went home and decided to start making clothing. I bought a couple patterns and said, oh, I understand this. It made sense to me as far as spatial math, I guess. And so I was underage, but the other waitresses I worked with at the restaurant were over 21, so I was telling them I would make them custom-made cocktail dresses to wear out to clubs. And I was charging them $100 and buying this really beautiful holographic fabric at Joann's and taking their measurements and making these cocktail dresses to fit. And what year would that have been? 1991, I want to say. And so I don't think I was making a ton of money because it took a long time to make it, and I was buying my fabric retail, and you know that whole story. But was definitely supporting my craft. I had nowhere to wear my own dresses, so it definitely paid for my supplies and my craft to be able to keep making dresses, and I had so much fun doing it. And I eventually made 2 wedding dresses and a couple of evening gowns before I moved on and did something else for a while. But it was really fun and definitely shows my entrepreneurial spirit. As soon as I learned how to do something, I tried to figure out how to make money too. And so I have actually loved sewing ever since, and I'd like to think that other than dabbling in crafts as a kid, I think sewing was my first craft love, and I still love sewing so much. The sad thing is like anything else, I saw another dolphin. There isn't enough time in the day, right? But I absolutely love sewing. I think now I love to make bags and little things more than I like to make garments, but not to say that I couldn't. One day I would love to make some sundresses. Sundresses and maxi skirts would be right at the top of my list. I just haven't found a place here locally that sells fabric like the fabrics I would want for those types of garments. I think my Spoonflower shop probably has the right type of fabrics, but I haven't really studied some of their fancy fabrics that well. But I do believe they have some gauzier or sheer. I'm just looking for really sheer fabrics, kind of like the Redbubble scarves. That kind of fabric is really what I would like to use. I know, it is a beautiful sunrise, isn't it? It's so pretty. It's gonna light up. The sky's been lit up for hours because the sun's been on the sky, but now it's gonna light up the water and the beach and the sand. So pretty. Does anybody have any other questions? Oh, what I was gonna say though about the sewing the clothes, my goal at some point is to design simple dresses and skirts in sewing and matching cardigans in yarn in knitting and crochet. It's been something that's been twirling around in my head for probably about 10 years, so we'll see. Yeah, hand sewing's amazing too. Hand sewing is definitely an art form, and I love that as well. Rav inherited a bunch of quilting materials. That's awesome. Terry, yes, the idea came to me during the finale of You've Got Mail. Remember the movie with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan? There was an outfit she wore in the park when she was going to see him in the final scene of the movie. And her dress was linen, and her shrug, I don't remember what it was, but they matched in color, and I went, I want to do a collection of that. And I've been dreaming about it ever since. And it never goes away. It just, the opportunity hasn't come across. It hasn't really come to fruition yet, but it will one day. All right, well, we're out of time. Terry knows the outfit, awesome. Yep, so I dream about doing a collection like that one day. And it'll happen. It'll happen one day. Not today, but it will. Okay, well, we're out of time. So let's take this last minute here Oh, hi William from UK. Thanks for joining live. Hi Donna. Hi Robin. Looks like I've missed a bunch of people here again. All right, well let's take this last minute here and look out at this magnificent view. Soak in the sounds of these waves, the beautiful colors, and set our intentions for the rest of the weekend. For those that joined later in the broadcast, I wanted to remind you that we went early today because there were so many dolphin here. So if you get a chance later today, go back and watch the recorded version where you'll see a bunch of beautiful dolphin here this morning. We definitely lost count, so it's certainly worth going back and checking it out if you are a nature lover or dolphin lover like me. Thanks so much everybody for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise, the sound of the waves, the beautiful scenery, all of our dolphin friends chatting with me and everyone else here. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all Monday. Bye.